Terrific shot of Nathan Phillips Square here in downtown Toronto. Thanks for joining us here on 2K Sports for NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan, and we've got Steve Smith and Greg Anthony at the table with me. And the fourth member of our crew, David Aldridge, our sideline reporter. And it's still early in the year, but already some trends developing as we check out the new power rankings. We take a look at the Hawks. They're moving on up, fourth spot in the rankings this time around.
And I feel like Toronto, they were obviously hoping to start out better. Still, too soon to panic. But lately they've had very little luck and seem to be trending in the wrong direction.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, for all of the star power Blake Griffin had when he was in Los Angeles, it was tough for him to be the leader of the Clippers. There were bigger voices in the locker room, such as CP3 and Doc Rivers. But Pistons coach Dwayne Casey said, in Detroit, he's definitely the leader. When he speaks, everybody listens. This is his team. Kevin?
Yeah, and he has their confidence. David, thank you. And, Smitty, what about the teams that know they're going to be championship caliber contenders? How do they stay motivated early in a season with so many games to play?
You know, it's hard. I think a lot of those guys, they're looking at, I would say now we're talking about load management for those type of teams. They're just trying to make sure their bodies, their minds are ready for that run. But usually those championship teams, they understand, they're motivated by winning. They get it together at the right time.
And a look at the starters for the Pistons. Rose and Jackson to the backcourt. On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. And it's Kennard in at the 3 slot. And for Toronto, Van Vliet and Lowry are the 1 and the 2. Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. And it's Johnson in at the small forward. Now, here's Lowry following the miss by Derrick Rose. And here is Van Vliet. Gasol kicks to Van Vliet. Hits the three-point bomb. Van Vliet's got the opening field goal of the game for the Raptors.
The big fella loves to pass. Marc Gasol with the vision and court awareness to do it from anywhere on the floor.
Jackson misses. And so Gasol will bring it up for Toronto. It's a three-point game. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
And the focus was to get stops. All game, they were right up on shooters, and that led to some big-time rejections.
This was their game plan going in. Make shooters uncomfortable by challenging every possible shot.
And give it up for the little fella on the inside there. Great rebound, even though he had to really fight for it.
Siakam. Rebound, Detroit. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
Tremendous poise on the offensive end. Overall, they did not settle for bad shots.
They were very patient, and that was the difference. It's hard to be patient, I know, but look at the outcome they had.
Here's Van Vliet following the score by Reggie Jackson. Van Vliet passes to Gasol. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist.
When Gasol feels the D playing off of him, he has no problem going right up with the shot. Great confidence from the big man.
Jackson against Lowry. Here's Drummond. A beautiful reverse layup.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
Now, here's Siakam. He's coming off a 28-point game against Orlando.
He was really aggressive on the glass, too. He really racked up on the boards out there.
Siakam with it, defended by Drummond.
And the most improved player in the league last season, Pascal Siakam, got better in every statistical category.
And it's those diamond-in-the-rough players that so often elevate the top teams. And, Greg, that's what the Raptors found in Pascal Siakam.
No doubt. The 27th pick back in 2016, now a full-time starter on a rookie contract, just over $2 million this season. He is due for a big raise.
And he knocks down the first one.
You have to give Pascal Siakam a lot of credit. He's continued to improve the shooting percentage both from the field and the line.
Siakam hits them both.
Well, last season, Pascal Siakam more than doubled his scoring. Dramatic improvement as a shooter from the perimeter and the line.
Now here's Rose. He's coming off a 16-point game against Indiana.
Yeah, and I look at his total effect on the scoring, both as a passer and a shooter. Incredibly productive. I mean, beautiful execution of the game plan offensively. So far, they are hitting 80% from the field.
And we've seen his shooting improve. But Siakam also very dangerous off the bounce.
Yeah, reason why, Kevin, he's becoming a great ball handler. They trust him to press the attack and to get into the lane.
Here's Johnson. That shot missing. Griffin with some nice D. Pistons trail by 7. Feeds to Jackson. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Jackson's got his second basket of the night.
Nice pass by Derrick Rose, spotting a wide open guy from the corner of his eye.
Outside Lowry. Left side Gasol. 17-foot shot on the way. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Left side Rose. Rejected by Gasol.
The former Defensive Player of the Year, Gasol, showing his stuff.
Rose finds Griffin, and it's in there.
This is why you're trying to get him as many touches as possible. He's got the neck.
Now here's Van Vliet. He's covered by Rose. Lets it fly, and the Raptors tack on 2 more.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Outside Griffin. The shot, no good. Now Toronto takes it the other way. Lowry with the ball, and Rose picks him up defensively. Johnson kicks to Siakam. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. Pistons trail by 7. And the wide open shot from Griffin. Here's Jackson, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
The 7-foot wingspan of Reggie Jackson makes him a bigger player inside, helps him draw fouls.
The Pistons shooting their first free throws of the game right now.
And as a group, they shot 75% from the line last season.
The first one falls.
Well, one area that has slowed the Pistons the last decade is their player development.
Yeah, you look at their roster, very few homegrown players. The Pistons haven't had a lot of hits with their first-round picks. To be a top team, you need to have a front office that can build from within.
It's blocked. Now Rose, still looking for his first bucket in this one. Lobbed up there for Drummond, up high to stuff the alley-oop.
I mean, tremendous body control in the air. Andre with the easy catch and flush.
Now here's Van Vliet. D right on him. Outside Gasol. And again, no good by Toronto.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Here's Drummond. Rebound by the Raptors. Gasol's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Johnson attacking. Rebound, Detroit. Griffin looking it over. No good. That would have tied it.
I mean, all period, it's been a struggle for him scoring the ball.
And the call will be against Luke Kennard. That's his first foul. And Toronto making a change here. Hollis Jefferson's checked in. And a switcher also for Detroit. Michael Beasley. He's checked in for Luke Kennard. Lowry passes to Van Vliet. Out to the right wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Siakam. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. While we have the time, let's take a look at last season's best transition teams. In fourth, the Raptors.
I mean, this is such a tough team to deal with. You see the numbers. They would just push the ball at every opportunity.
Van Vliet finds Hollis Jefferson. Back to Van Vliet. And stolen by Drummond. Oh, and here we go. Jackson, nobody back. Second chance shot, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Now a moment to see the numbers for Marc Gasol. Good season for him last year. Put up about 13 points per, 8 rebounds and 4 assists. Fantastic totals for him across the board. I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps rolling.
It's not the monster game that we see from him occasionally, but it's still incredibly impressive.
And as long as Reggie Jackson is healthy, he's going to give you some punch as a lead guard. Solid scoring option and a guy who's also unselfish in terms of getting his teammates involved.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Serge Ibaka is checked in for Siakam. Norman Powell comes in for Kyle Lowry. And it's Payne in for Fred Van Vliet. Gasol with the steal. Here's Hollis Jefferson, and it's blocked. They retain possession. They get it again. And at last, they get one to fall. And the Raptors lead by 3. Rose with the ball. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. And the layup falls. And for the last half decade, Reggie Jackson has been good for about 15 points a game.
And that is about the consistency you can expect from Jackson. He's always been a talent. The key for him is just staying on the floor.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
And as fans and broadcasters, we're not permitted to hear the specifics in these huddles.
No, we're left to infer from the adjustments we see on the floor.
Anunoby, he's checked in for Marc Gasol. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Brown's checked in. Now here's Payne. Pass to Powell. Here's Ibaka. A three-pointer off the mark. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for Detroit. They trail by 1. Here's Anunoby. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
Turning defense into offense. Every coach talks about it. Perfect example right there.
Now here's Beasley. He had 10 points in the win against Indiana.
And equally impressive on the backboards. I thought his rebounding was huge.
Anunoby, good.
And it's crucial that Anunoby knocks down that jumper, showing how skilled he is from the perimeter.
Jackson looking it over. Almost, but it rolls out.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Good on the bucket.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
And the Pistons with possession here. The Raptors getting the bucket. Back to Brown. At the elbow, it's Drummond. Just 5 to shoot. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
At some point, when you recognize someone's this out of rhythm, you have to shift to something else.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Smitty, you played with the U.S. national team. Would you say they allow more physicality in FIBA than they do in the NBA?
No, I think, Kevin, different parts of the game, there's more physicality. Like on the free throw line, boxing out. Like going up for rebounds. They let a lot more than we're used to go. But usually the NBA players adjust, and they find their way.
That's good from Payne.
And during last season's playoffs, we heard the Bucks complaining about Drake's theatrics on the sidelines. Smitty, do you see any problem with that?
You know, GA, first of all, we know Drake is very animated. He's a part of this organization. We got to know he's a Toronto native and he loves this team. Yes, it's a problem when it starts to affect the game. But if not, I think all teams, especially the Bucks last year in the playoffs, you just got to focus and play.
And the Raptors took some heat for parting ways with reigning Coach of the Year, Dwayne Casey. But his successor, Nick Nurse, guided this franchise to an NBA title.
Tremendous self-belief and determination. The only NBA head coach who was also a head coach in college, the G League, and overseas. He's been preparing for this for a long time.
Yeah, we're seeing some fireworks from them already.
They established the pace. They made shots. This is why they're way out in front.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. Well, the Raptors' Nick Nurse winning an NBA title in his first season. Greg is an NBA head coach.
The first time a head coach who'd also helmed a team in a foreign league has won it. Nurse often reminisces fondly on those days coaching in Europe. And this summer, he was entrusted with coaching the Canadian national team at the FIBA World Cup.
Now, here's Brown. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Poked away. The pass to Morris to end the run. And it's Brown missing. Toronto leading by 11. Here's Anunoby. Kicks to Payne. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Ibaka right side. Here's Snell. Got a hand on it. That one goes in. Toronto's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Now here's Payne. He's guarded closely. Down low. And Ibaka kicks to Anunoby. It's tipped. And here's Brown outside. Doesn't go for him. And it's the Raptors taking it the other way. To the paint. Here's Powell. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
They've been excellent so far, coming in with a well-balanced attack.
And it's helped them build an early lead. They just need to stay aggressive.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. Toronto shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
Well, the Pistons are starting to embrace the deep ball. First year under Coach Casey, they shot many more threes. Went from middle of the pack in 2018 to 6th overall last year.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And doing a good job getting to the line and capitalizing.
And it's Norman Powell with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Beasley, the pass to Brown. Here's Snell. 44 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The shot goes in. First of the night. He's 1 for 3 to start the game.
An Energizer bunny in the paint. Tony Snell not afraid to go up with the Giants.
Now here's Payne. Passes to Hollis Jefferson. Doesn't go that time. Good work defensively by Morris. It's tipped. Brown outside. It's Beasley on the wing. That one doesn't go. And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. It's the Raptors as they wrap up the first quarter with a massive 16-6 run. We'll be back shortly, live from Toronto. Now a veteran in the NBA, Serge Ibaka, talked about his role on this team.
I like to do all those little things, running up and down, blocking shot, straight the floor, making open shot, rolling the basket, screen, those dirty work. I like to do that.
And Ibaka, Greg, a great complementary player.
And you like his combination of size and skill, able to impact the game at both ends on a high level.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And guys, the Raptors enjoying a nice lead here.
Well, credit their anticipation skills on the defensive end. They forced a number of turnovers.
And you can't cause those mistakes unless you're willing to gamble. So far, they've rolled the dice, and it's paid off.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. Setting the floor for the Raptors. They've got Powell. Ibaka is out there with Anunoby. Then it's Payne, and it's Hollis Jefferson in at the 3. Now here's Beasley. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession. And a chance now to look at the schedule coming up for the Toronto Raptors. On Saturday, they'll be matching up against Eric Bledsoe and the Milwaukee Bucks. And then on Wednesday, they'll tip off a homestand starting with the Sacramento Kings.
And nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
Just 4 to shoot. That's tipped, and it's out of bounds to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. Siakam is checked in for the Raptors. Lowry comes in for Payne. And a switch here also for Detroit. Rose is checked in. Goes up off the inbound. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Can't fault the play call. Even though he couldn't convert, that's a good shot.
Powell kicks to Siakam. And the 3 off target. Pistons trail by 13. Count the basket. Kennard's got his first bucket in this one.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Outside Lowry. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Siakam passes to Hollis Jefferson. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Powell for 3. Rebound by the Pistons. And with Thon Maker still a developing project, you forget, Smitty, how young he really is.
You're right, Kevin. Has a lot of time ahead of him. You can see the touch and the length he has. Hopefully, he can keep working and put it all together.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Kyle Lowry is hard-nosed, as we all know, and if you ask him, it comes from his upbringing in Philadelphia. Lowry said, a Philly player is what a basketball player is. We played on concrete. You got to be mentally tough. You're not trying to be athletic. You get hit the wrong way, you run into a metal pole. Kevin, that's what made him. From Philly to Villanova to Toronto to an NBA champion.
I don't know about running into the metal pole, but that sounds painful. But he's certainly as tough as he can be. David, thank you. Inside, here's Ibaka, and Ibaka slams it in.
The aggressive side of Serge coming through asserts himself at the rim.
And the foul called on Pascal Siakam. That is his first foul of the game. Fred VanVleet is checked in for Toronto. Griffin's checked in for the Pistons. Now here's Rose. Pass to Kennard. To the inside. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Beautiful location on the pass as usual. Led his man perfectly.
Steve, I know you like this, that the three-point shot is having such an effect on the league, actually transforming the NBA. Are you surprised at how fast all this is happening?
I am. I'm surprised that so many teams are adopting this transformation of shooting a three ball, because there are some teams and there's some players, I know they shoot it, Kevin, but they shoot at such a low percentage. If you have the guys that can shoot it, you should adopt it. If not, you got to find another way of winning ball games. There's nothing wrong with having a great mid-range team that can knock down mid-range jumpers.
Snell, the pass to Rose. Now the dish to Maker. Good D by Gasol.
He goes up strong, but he is met with resistance. I think that surprised him a little bit.
A shot by Lowry, no good. And here's Griffin. He'll bring it up for Detroit. 9-point game. When this game is done, they'll be off to Chicago as they take on the Bulls. That'll be the second of this two-game road trip. The Raptors have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Van Vliet gets to Gasol. Van Vliet with it. Working on Rose. Gasol passes to Van Vliet. But they'll get another chance. On the wing, Johnson. Back to Gasol. 6 to shoot. Another field goal for him. 4 for 6 shooting tonight.
You know, he's smart. He's steady. Marc Gasol, he just knows where to position himself to make that play.
Here's Maker to the wing right side. There's Rose with the 3. He makes that one drop, only a second and 5 tries.
Woo! He got a clean look, and he makes the defense pay for disrespecting him.
To the middle. Whoops, they pick off the pass. Now here's Rose, the fast break opportunity. The shot from the low post is good. And now it's just a 4-point Raptor lead.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
The pass to Lowry. Outside Gasol. Over Maker. Rebound collected by Snell. The Pistons on offense. They're on a 16-7 run. Back to Griffin. Stolen by Van Vliet. Here we go, one-on-one. And Siakam throws it down.
Having a big who can run the floor is obviously a value. What I like about Siakam, he can finish in so many ways.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
You know, the 5-time All-Star Kyle Lowry has made a career of proving his doubters wrong. You ask me, I think he's still underrated.
For the Pistons, Andre Drummond comes in for Maker. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Tony Snell. And Drummond kicks to Kennard. Outside Rose. Back to Kennard. Gasol against Drummond. Shot clock at 6. Here's Griffin. And it's Kyle Lowry with the rebound. And you ask Lowry, he's always felt underestimated. What do people overlook about him?
You know, I think, Kevin, is his defense first and foremost. He's a top 10 point guard at both ends of the floor. That's what makes him very special.
Passes it to Siakam. The shot missing. Good D by Drummond.
Having a shaky time from the floor, but his teammates have been picking up the slack.
Whistle blows. Bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play. So it'll be Derrick Rose shooting. They get Marc Gasol.
And boy, what a year it was for Derrick Rose. And the sea of fans hoping that he would get back to what he once was, as he was electric.
And the Pistons making a change here. Brown's checked in. And for Rose, so many had written him off, but he was a huge factor for the Timberwolves.
Rose still has a tremendous passion for the game, and it really shows on the court. His renaissance last season was one of the better stories in our league.
And the shot is good.
And really, Lowry has made his career off delivering through contact. Really one of the strongest point guards in this league.
Pistons trail by 7. And here's Rose. 10 points for him. Gasol with the steal. Johnson, the pass to Siakam. Can't cash in from close range. For Detroit, they've gone 8 of 11 from the field in the second quarter. Really flowing here. Brown dishes to Rose. There's the feed to Griffin. 6 to shoot. Poked loose and stolen by Kyle Lowry. Pass to Siakam. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. 9 points for Siakam.
Strong finish. Siakam with great balance, able to complete the play through contact.
Pass to Jackson. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And it's Lowry penetrating. That one drops for him. Lowry's got 6 points in the quarter.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Rose kicks to Jackson. Fires from the wing. Offensive rebound. Drummond misses the layup.
Great defensive effort, just saved a basket.
You know what? This is why you never give up on a play. You don't know what's going to happen. You know, for a player like Stanley Johnson, you are just waiting for the offense to come around. He has shown to be a solid defender, but that's just not enough to find consistent minutes.
Well, it's been difficult for Stanley Johnson to live up to his draft spot of number 8 overall back in 2015.
You see the talent, Kevin. The fans are still waiting for Johnson to turn the corner with his offense. He's still working to pass the 40% mark from the field in his career.
The first free throw is good. NBA gets headlines daily. You know it does, Smitty, around the calendar. There's no off-season, but does the added scrutiny put more pressure, you think, on the players?
Yeah, I think it does. I think now you look at it, everybody wants to see what you're doing in the off-season. And 24/7, you look at it right now, everybody has a camera phone, and everybody is looking for the stars, what they're doing off the court. Well, the Pistons, one of the more successful franchises in NBA history. 3 titles and many other trips to the NBA Finals. Only a handful of franchises can say that.
Van Vliet looking around. And the pass to Gasol. 2 points. That one goes. Gasol's got 10 points. And Smitty, you were talking about the Pistons, a history of success, of championships. But the last 10 years have been difficult.
Pistons have struggled the last decade. You're so right, Kevin. But this team has a track record of not staying down for long. Detroit doing what they can to return to championship contention.
Here's Van Vliet after the made shot from Andre Drummond. Now Van Vliet. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Orlando.
He was very active on defense, too, recording 3 steals for the game. This is what the analytics prefer. Shots at the rim or from 3.
Outside Jackson. It's Beasley on the wing, covered by Van Vliet. Clock at 6. Here's Griffin. Unable to get that one. And Toronto will go the other way with it.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Johnson gets the bucket.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Jackson. A 14-point game for him in the win against Indiana.
And he did great work on the defensive end, too, with 3 steals on the night.
Here's Griffin. It's a 14-point game, and it's Drummond missing.
Well, that alley-oop attempt, a case of what could have been, just didn't finish the play.
You know, this is something you practice over and over again. I'm surprised they couldn't execute.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets, an exquisite pass to set up the powerful alley-oop dunk. Here's Jackson. The Raptors getting the bucket. Griffin down low. Dishes to Drummond. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
All right, a chance to check out the stats for Blake Griffin. Great showing for him last season. Last season, put up about 24 points per, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. And no secret, he can score the ball. #1 on the team last year.
He loves being the go-to guy. You can see it in his swagger. And boy, he sure lit it up last season.
Van Vliet kicks to Johnson. Gasol trying to free himself up. Jackson finds Brown. And then Griffin with the dunk.
I saw that one in Griffin's eyes. He was ready to throw that one down.
Toronto leading by 14. 43 seconds left in the first half of the game. Right side, Gasol. Rebound by the Pistons. Outside, Griffin. And the layup's good off the glass. Griffin's got 4 points in the quarter.
Throwing his weight around. Blake Griffin converting through contact on that play.
Van Vliet with it. He's got 5. He dishes it to Gasol. Over Drummond. No good from Gasol. And so it's Toronto up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Kyle, a good first half for you all. How do you continue that for the rest of the game?
We got to come out with our energy. We got to come out and play our game and keep going out there and pushing. Our defense and everybody's rotating, so we're playing together right now.
We'll see if you stay connected in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. It was a fast pace for Toronto at the outset. Their biggest lead of the opening period during a very exciting run was all the way up to 13 points. After a well-executed first quarter, they held the lead by 11. Then in quarter number 2, they actually increased their intensity to pull further out in front, finishing with a double-digit advantage at the half. And let's get your thoughts, big fella, on the Raptors.
I don't think anyone expected to see such numbers from the bench. You know, I'm impressed. It was what they needed, the jolt they needed, Ernie. Wow, I never knew their bench. Matter of fact, I don't even know any of their players coming off the bench. Man, keep going, bench guys.
Over to Kenny. What'd you think about Detroit?
I think they're giving this game away because of their turnovers. I mean, you may not control everything that happens out there, but you do control how much you value each possession. I think coming out of the break, they need to be more efficient to close the gap in the score.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. It's been a clinic out there by Marc Gasol.
And he was an absolute monster on the offensive glass in that first half. I don't know how you slow him down.
Basketball 101. You've got to put a body on him. Unfortunately, that's a fundamental that's gone by the wayside.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. And on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. Rose and Jackson to the backcourt, and it's Kennard in at the small forward position. Nailed from three-point land.
Not just a knockdown shooter, he does a great job of finding space for his shot.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
Good vision, good decision by Reggie. Pushing for a better shot, finds an open man.
Now here's Van Vliet inside. And Lowry gets it to go. Lowry's got 10 points in the game.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Listen, put the ball in the hands of your best scorers and let them go to work. Keep it simple.
Here's Griffin. Back to Rose. Shot from 12. Misses off the left iron. Toronto leading by 15. Now here's Van Vliet. 8 points for him. Siakam looking around. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Andre Drummond picks one up.
You don't want to foul him. One of the better free throw centers in the game. Marc Gasol gets it done.
And just like his brother Powell, Marc Gasol active in humanitarian causes.
I mean, we saw him volunteering on rescue boats in the Mediterranean. Marc doing his part, but also bringing attention to that humanitarian crisis.
First free throw is good.
Over a decade in Memphis for Marc Gasol. Even played his high school basketball there. Now a new phase.
And so Marc Gasol nails both of them. And when you spend as much time in one city as Marc Gasol and mean as much as he did to the Grizzlies franchise in that city of Memphis, you know what, Smitty? It's got to be tough to move on.
I'm sure, Kevin, for both sides. Regardless of what he accomplished moving forward, his jersey is getting retired in Memphis. No question about it.
And Raptors president of basketball operations, Masai Ujiri, not just doing an amazing job in Toronto, he's also had a huge role in the growing of the game in Africa.
Growing up in Nigeria, he fell in love with the game of basketball, and he has worked his way up. Now he's given a hand back, building pathways for others to follow in his footsteps, bringing the development and leadership to the continent.
And that one misses. See, there are certain players, as we know, who can really back you up and get you on your heels, and then they hit the brakes and they hit you with a pull-up jumper. Very tough to defend.
Kevin, you said it best. Being able to hit the brakes and stop on a dime, I think is James Harden, Steph Curry, C.J. McCollum, Kyrie Irving. Those are some of those names where guys can go in fast pace, fast motion, then stop and pull up and be on balance and knock down the shot.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after 5 years as an assistant in Toronto, last season Nick Nurse moved to head coach of the Raptors, and the team responded, winning the franchise's first NBA championship. Nurse has been at this for 3 decades. He got his first head coaching position at the age of 23, and he has moved all throughout basketball, both domestically and abroad, guiding 15 teams in 5 different countries. And after winning it all last year, Kevin, he's finally made it to the top.
David, he sure has a long and winding journey. Thank you. So it's the Pistons now. The Raptors getting the bucket. Van Vliet passes to Siakam. Outside Gasol. There's the triple. Rebounded by Rose.
Well, in the rebounding game, at least, it's been a strong physical performance for him.
Griffin's shot is off. And here's Gasol. He'll bring it up for Toronto. There's Hollis Jefferson. Second shot opportunity. Siakam. And the layup is good. Siakam's got 11 points.
You know, before coaches started running plays for him, this is where Siakam would get his points, on the offensive glass.
Here's Griffin. Drummond trying to get himself free. The kick out to Rose. Passes it to Kennard. And Detroit with another turnover here. The 2K leaderboard provides us now with this list of last season's assist leaders. Kyle Lowry is second.
Very few guys pass the ball better than he did. I mean, he didn't just have eyes in the back of his head. It's almost as if he had them on both sides, too.
Van Vliet passes to Lowry. From downtown, Van Vliet with the bucket. Van Vliet's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for the Raptors. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Left side Rose. He kicks it to Drummond. Pass to Kennard. Detroit needs to get off a shot here. And he can't stop the run as he misses. Raptors leading by 21. Here's Gasol, and the Raptors tack on 2 more.
Oh, great ball movement there.
For Detroit, they've gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvement, certainly. Jackson passes to Griffin. Here's Drummond, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
I love this. Andre Drummond has gone on record saying he is one of the last true centers in the league. Hard to argue with that statement, given how Drummond has played.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. Rebounding and defense, Drummond provides Smitty. Feels similar to an old school center.
Yeah, it does. Drummond is still very effective, even without having an outside shot. But he's gotten better at that. Most centers now can shoot threes, but Drummond is happy to stick to what he does best.
Serge Ibaka has checked in for the Raptors. Norman Powell comes in for Fred VanVleet.
Well, now when you foul Drummond, he can hurt you a little bit at the line. He's much improved.
Back to Lowry. Raptors moving the ball around. They grab their own miss. Goes back up, and it's good on the layup. Lowry's got 12.
He's just 6 feet, and he's a good rebounder. Lowry's heart and passion for the game is shining through.
Pass to Rose. Down low. It's stolen by Ibaka. Fast break, Toronto. Siakam passes to Powell, and it's sent back by Morris. Siakam kicks to Powell, and he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Powell's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Oh, that's great awareness. That's a great pass. Credit Siakam and the work he's done to understand where everyone is in this offense.
Now here's Drummond. He's got 12. Back to Rose. And right on through for another basket. He's got 5 made on 5 of 9 shooting.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Rose against Lowry. Hollis Jefferson passes to Lowry. He feeds it to Ibaka. And it's sent back by Drummond.
That rejection was well timed. Get that shot out of here. Drummond staying patient, waiting for the right moment to pounce.
Now here's Rose. 13 points in the game. The pass to Kennard. Just 5 on the clock. Right at the free throw line. Back to Rose. Passes it to Drummond. And it's Norman Powell with the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Beasley's checked in for the Pistons. To the paint. Here's Kennard. Count it. Good. Kennard's got 6.
Great player movement, great ball movement. That's fun to watch.
Lowry against Rose. Here's Lowry. He's got 12. Here's Siakam. Knocks down the 10-footer. Siakam's got 4 points in the quarter.
You know, with Siakam, it's not just his size. It's his agility that allows him to succeed in the painted area.
And Maker sends it back. And he gets it back. Siakam misses.
This is the shot you want right at the rim. He just couldn't deliver.
Scooped up. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
Hustle points count just like any others. That's a great play. You know, a big change last season for Luke Kennard happened when he stopped worrying about taking bad shots. He was asked to be more proactive on offense and start creating chances for himself instead of waiting for the ball to be swung to him.
OG Anunoby's checked in for Toronto. Bruce Brown, he's checked in for Detroit. And Smitty, that aggressiveness from Kennard, that's what the team wants from him.
He's a big part of their future. They need that from him. He may not be their number 1 or number 2 scorer, but he can be a very solid option off the bench or as a starter.
Now here is Lowry. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Outside Lowry. Shot clock at 5. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. 14 points for him.
He's been calling his own number all night, and Lowry's not wrong. He's the one with the hot hand.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Last year, an 8th seed finish for the Detroit Pistons. Had to work for it, battling it out to the very end of the season. Their 500 record of 41-41 was just enough to get in.
The Raptors making a switch here. Payne's checked in.
All right, a chance here to check out Kyle Lowry. He had a strong showing last season. Came in about 14 points per, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. And he has been passing the ball like a virtuoso. That's what really stands out about these recent performances.
You know, mentally, he's a pass-first type of player. It gets everyone involved and engaged, and that really sparks this offense.
Here's Payne, following the basket by Thon Maker. Back to Powell. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That one is on Beasley. And Smitty, last season for the Pistons, a short playoff trip as they were swept by Milwaukee, but still a learning experience.
Kevin, getting this team back to the playoffs was the first step. The young players learned a valuable lesson. It's all about changing the mindset and culture of this team.
Reggie Jackson's checked in for Bruce Brown. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And out of UCLA, Norman Powell, an athletic 6'4" combo guard, said he modeled his game after Russell Westbrook.
And I can see why. He's gifted physically as well. A 6'11" wingspan, a 40-inch vertical leap. He's more of a 2-guard in my opinion, and he's off to a strong start in his young career.
Lowry can't get it to go. Detroit's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Oh, Moore's in position. It's stolen by Ibaka. Here's Anunoby. Got it. Good job in the low post. Anunoby's got 10 points in the game.
And can't do much else. The strength of Anunoby comes in handy on those challenging finishes.
And Kennard came into the league viewed mostly as a shooter, but he's been able to provide much more than that.
I mean, better than you think when he puts the ball on the floor. Learning how to lean into defenders and step back to open up the shot is a better playmaker than he gets credit for, and we should see him take on a larger role as he develops.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. Raptors leading by 22. Outside Lowry. Pass to Ibaka. Fires from deep. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. Lowry's got assist number 5 here tonight.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
You know what? They talked about this at halftime, and they're doing a better job of creating space.
Toronto's gone 3 of 7 from three-point range here in quarter number 3. And here's Payne. Six on the shot clock. Kicks it to Ibaka. Over Jackson. Rebounded by Maker. Maker's got his 5th rebound in this one. It's Beasley on the wing. Now recovering.
Beasley.
Maker dishes to Jackson. Looking to get back on track here, and he sinks the layup. 12 points for him.
Lots of contact. Jackson with the strength to power through. Something he didn't have when he first entered the league.
And the Raptors call time here. And with Reggie Jackson at the point, you're going to get more of a score than a playmaker.
And that's okay, as long as you plan for that with your system. Reggie Jackson is great at creating for himself, but you like to see him do a little bit more to set up the rest of his team.
And some changes here for the Raptors. Marc Gasol is checked in for Anunoby, and it's Stanley Johnson in for Kyle Lowry. And a switcher also for Detroit. Tony Snell's checked in for Kennard. Now here is Ibaka. 5 points in the game. He kicks to Powell. Back to Ibaka. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Feeds it to Gasol. It's stolen by Maker. Deflects the pass. And it's Norman Powell with the foul. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. That free throw missing, and the Pistons making a change here. Rose is checked in. And he's good on the second. We've got 1:08 left in the 3rd quarter. Now here's Payne. He's covered by Rose. Payne finds Powell.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far. And he knocks down the first one. Griffin's checked in for the Pistons. And so he hits both. And Detroit has possession. 52 seconds left in the 3rd. Bounce pass from Rose. Now Beasley wants to get it to Rose and does. And stolen by Payne. Here's Johnson. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
The powerful frame of Stanley Johnson, able to withstand contact on the interior. This time, gets sent to the line.
He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game.
Had a success rate from the line last year of about 78%.
He misses the free throw.
The 8th overall pick in 2015, Stanley Johnson was taken ahead of some great prospects, but holds tremendous potential himself.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Outside Rose. And there's the pass to Griffin. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Serge Ibaka picks one up there.
When you put a smaller player on Blake, he has the ability to drive it, draw contact, and get to the free throw line.
Shooting two.
And the first one at the line is good.
The former 5-star recruit, first overall pick in the draft. Griffin's been slowed down only by injuries.
Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
Yeah, just a simple one-hand flush.
I think he got a few more inches on his vertical by going with the spike. Left side Rose. From deep. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's the Toronto Raptors finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
Whatever the offense requires, that has to be your mindset. Always thinking team first.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first three quarters. Ibaka is out there with Johnson. Then it's Fred VanVleet. Then there's Norman Powell. And it's Gasol and at the 5 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto.
To stretch out the defense, you just need enough guys on the floor who can make that shot.
And here is Powell following Markieff Morris's 3. And Ibaka kicks to VanVleet. Clock at 6. Back to Ibaka. Shoots the 3. That shot misses. And the Pistons now going the other way. Down low. Griffin. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Man, he sure can get off the floor.
He one of the best in the business, absolutely. Jackson against Powell. Ibaka outside. Back to Powell. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Blake Griffin. First one falls for him. You know, Steve, the business part of the NBA, very strong. But Commissioner Silver doesn't want to be complacent either.
No, he doesn't. He's always been forward thinking. They're doing a good job of being proactive and doing a good job of just throwing out ideas. And what I love the most, Kevin, working with the Players Association.
I'm with you. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Here is Rose. We played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Here's VanVleet. Rebound by Rose. Rose has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Morris looking over the floor. Drummond passes to Morris. Here's Griffin, guarded by Powell. 6 to shoot. Jackson from long range. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Gasol's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Here's Powell. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
And that's just cold-blooded right there. He's taking no prisoners.
expanding upon this lead, trying to close it out. He's really stepped up.
That's only the first turnover, guys. He's been safe as an option for them at the offensive end.
Some changes for Toronto. Pascal Siakam comes in for Serge Ibaka. Hollis Jefferson subbed in for Powell. Now, here's Siakam. Rebound, Detroit. Drummond's got 13 rebounds in the game. Class eating. Griffin kicks to Rose. Smitty, with players like Curry and Lillard taking such high difficulty shots from deep, deep range. I mean, these are just amazing. Some have said that it's hurting the game and that kids will try to emulate it. What do you think about that?
You know, Kevin, I think it is to some point, and to this point where so many kids now at a younger age are shooting the three ball from so deep. I would love for a lot of these guys to be able to show the work they put in, and then those kids try to emulate that.
And the foul called on Pascal Siakam. And that'll be his third foul so far. Pistons trail by 21. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Here's Rose. Shot number 12 goes in. He's made 7 of 12 now.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And only 6 feet tall in shoes, Fred VanVleet's not the biggest, but his toughness grade, his toughness, mentally and physically, is unquestioned.
And Kevin, growing up in Rockford, Illinois, gave him that perspective. Friends and family gone too soon. Basketball was the path to something better.
Free throw good, VanVleet. Good on both. Well, a lot of progress being made from a technical standpoint. You can't escape it, Steve. Shoes now that can tighten themselves without laces, changing colors. Have you gotten yourself a pair yet?
Kevin, I haven't, but I bought a lot of pair for my kids. I do like these type of shoes where there are no shoelaces. I'm a little lazy right now, Kevin, but I love the technology that are going into shoes right now.
And the technical free throw is good.
And not too long ago, Reggie Jackson signed a 5-year, $80 million deal. A lot of pressure on him to earn that money.
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Shot clock at 6. Unloads. That shot no good. So the Raptors will take it the other way. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. Now here's VanVleet. They double him with Drummond. Johnson surveying the floor. Siakam outside. To the inside. Here's Gasol. And the Raptors miss again. Pistons trail by 20. Here's Griffin. Here's Drummond. It falls through, making him 6 for 11 in the game.
A man among boys on the offensive glass. Andre Drummond picks up a lot of extra points this way.
Siakam against Griffin. Pass to Johnson. Detroit with the rebound.
Trying to finish out the game strong. You have to recognize who has the hot hand and get him the ball.
Chalk up 2 there.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And so VanVleet will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. 16-point lead. Now the feed to Gasol. Good D by Drummond. Here are the Pistons with the ball. They're on a 14-6 run. The drive by Jackson. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got 5 assists in the game. Raptors leading by 14. Siakam outside. Pass to Van Vliet. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on Blake Griffin.
Yeah, easy call.
And he makes the first. Kyle Lowry, he's checked in for Stanley Johnson. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Luke Kennard, he's checked in for Morris. So he gets them both.
See, now he's getting defenders back on their heels a little bit. Getting to the foul line here in the second half.
Rose surveying the D. Right side, Griffin. Here's Kennard. The 3. That's good. Basket number 5 on a 5 for 8 night shooting.
You know, as ice cold as he was in the first half, that's how hot he has been since the break. No one can match up with him right now.
Lowry passes to Gasol. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Pistons trail by 13. Here's Kennard. Got a piece of it.
And what you like about Siakam as a rim protector, the able to affect shots without fouling.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there.
Raptors leading by 13. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Lowry from outside. It's Drummond with the rebound. Pistons trail by 13. Here's Kennard. He feeds it to Drummond. The dish to Rose. They shoot again. And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Rose. Rose has got 6 assists here tonight.
Guys, they're just getting outworked. I mean, plain and simple. It's got to be more of a collective effort to secure that backboard.
And the Raptors call time here.
Definitely not pleased with their rebounding at the defensive end. The number of putbacks they've allowed has been terrible. I'm sure that's what he's going to address during this timeout.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight, just amazing. He hadn't just been gunning. He's been picking his spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he has.
The lift he got from this home crowd has been obvious. There's nothing fans love more than getting a big game out of someone other than one of their stars. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey guys, during the last timeout, I listened to Nick Nurse talk to his team. He loves the aggressiveness on D. He said we're doing a great job of challenging everything they're trying to do. Stay active, talk to each other, don't let up. Kevin?
Now here's Johnson. Now the pass to Van Vliet. Lob pass to Gasol. The shot, no good.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
Here are the Pistons with the ball. They're on an 18-6 run. Rose kicks to Kennard. Drummond up top.
Marc Gasol working so hard on defense, making sure he gets himself in the airspace of shooters.
Johnson attacking. Siakam. That's in, coming off the assist from Johnson. Johnson's got 3 assists tonight.
Love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
I'm impressed with their intensity tonight. They've came in focused and they've executed.
Here's Rose. And Gasol sends it back. They get it back. Fires the 3. They get the rebound. Oh, and the jam by Drummond.
Oh my, not just a good athlete, Andre is a freakish athlete. Something that really shines when he's creating highlights.
Now, here's Lowry.
Hey, turn around, turn around.
Passes it to Gasol. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Lowry. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Lowry's got 4 points now in the quarter.
He's been a big factor in their offense tonight, making shot after shot.
Rose kicks to Kennard. Pass to Jackson. Lobbed up there for Drummond. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
Just barely too late and catches it on the way down. He's already in the air there, committed, so can't fault him for going for the block.
Lowry against Jackson. And the basket by Lowry. Lowry's got 20 points.
Kyle Lowry is a very tough guy for 6'1". He's a guy who loves to attack the inside, even though he's small.
Puts it up off the inbound.
Causing havoc for offenses. Siakam gives you great energy and focus to go along with that length.
No good on the shot. Nice D from Griffin. Kennard, the pass to Jackson. And the shot goes in. Jackson's got 9 points here in the second half.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Here's Van Vliet. Down goes basket number 6 for him this game. He's taken 12 shots and made half of them. Here's Rose. Pass to Griffin. Looking to end his cold spell. Good D by Siakam.
And his pure defensive effort changed that shot from an easy one to a tough one.
And you know, technically, it's a high percentage look, but this is why we play the game.
Here's Gasol. And it's sent back by Drummond. And he recovers it. Clock at 4. Here's Siakam. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Gasol's got 6 assists now in the game.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Raptors.
Their superior ball handling won it for them.
And fewer turnovers equals greater scoring opportunities. Any coach will tell you that. If you take care of the ball every possession, and this is a perfect example of what happens when you do.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And as usual, some excellent work tonight in what was a quality big impact game for Kyle Lowry.
You know what stood out to me was the anticipation defensively. He sensed what the offense wanted to run, then found ways to disrupt that and cause turnovers.
And the first one at the line is good. And the defensive impact that Andre Drummond can have on the floor is a major factor.
Well, you know that Drummond is going to do the work of 3 players on the glass, but he's also been a solid rim protector who makes up for his height with great timing and reach.
And it's a completely new group for Toronto. And a different look here for the Pistons. Thon Maker's checked in for Griffin. Markieff Morris comes in for Luke Kennard. Langston Galloway's checked in for Reggie Jackson. And Tim Frazier's subbed in for Derrick Rose.
They needed more from him there. Any point they can get is absolutely critical for them right now.
Back to Thomas. The pass to Boucher. The Raptors need to get a shot off. Here's Payne. That one wide left.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Lobbed up there for Drummond, and it's Drummond with the jam.
When Drummond's playing with passion and fire, he can be unstoppable.
Payne with it. Over to the left wing. Shoots over Frazier, off the mark. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and play with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Mark. The team seems to really have a good rhythm going. What's been the key to success?
We're working. You know, we sacrificing for each other. I think we're doing a better job on that. And you know, we don't get much practice, but we're getting good work in.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of time to practice during the season, but it's not showing up on the court. You guys are playing great. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. Great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later.